Hi guys, so I wanted to do a paint with me video for this painting, but it didn't work out for a couple reasons. But please enjoy a couple clips of me really struggling. Yeah, this is similar to something I did a little while back in China. You guys, if you watch the vlogs or follow me on Instagram, will have seen it. But I don't know why I decided to do it. It was hard again. So, and also so were these squares. Every time I do squares like that, I'm like, wow, I hate this and it's miserable. So I combined two miserable things and I made this painting. Okay, and here I am. This is like full sunlight now. This is what it looks like. And some details. Don't mind the mess around it. That's just my life. But I do have another painting I'm working on, and hold on. Yeah, look at how warped this canvas is. I'm not gonna use the stretcher like for this canvas. I'm just using it to give it some shape while I paint it. Because you could never hang this straight. So my plan, I don't know if you can see, I have like a big cat, like a panther on here sketched out. And then there's a window frame up here. My plan is to, you guys have seen I've been doing a lot of pet portraits, so I'm gonna kind of go with that, and I'm doing a panther. My plan is to do some kind of like tall flower, maybe like I usually like to paint foxglove. I've done that a couple times in different paintings. And then some stars, and yeah, I don't know, we'll see where this goes. I want to incorporate some gold leaf and stuff. So that's my plan. But yeah, this is another big canvas. It's actually the same size as that one. That one is 48, wait, let me think, 36 by 48. This is the same. And then my plan to deal with, you can tell how warped it is, like even on here. My plan is to maybe put a dowel through here, like roll this over a little bit, and yeah, have it hanging kind of like a scroll. Maybe do some kind of like embroidery detail down the side. I haven't quite decided yet, but I'll worry about that when I get there. So right now I'm just gonna work on painting the cat. That's the main thing right now. So once I have that in place and anchored, I'm gonna start to put some flowers around it, I think. I know that this angle is not ideal, but that's what we got. And I'm just talking anyway. I'm just, you know. So far all I've done, I've kind of like mapped out the colors where I need them to go. Somebody had asked me at some point, and I know I said it probably in response to that already, but in case you're wondering, for images that I'm painting, you know, something that isn't my face, I use stock photos, like free stock photos, just because, you know, there's a big selection, and that's better than just finding someone else's property and painting that. But yeah, now that I have the basic, I'm gonna do the mouth separately. So like these are all, I'm looking at the reference right now, these are like the lips, then here's gonna be the teeth, tongue, and you know, all that stuff. So it's gonna be like a big mess that I have to work with there. I think I might, I don't know, I think I'm just gonna keep building up the colors where they need to go. And then once I have kind of like the colors in place, I'm doing like a very bluish tint to this panther. Usually if you look at, you know, a black animal, like a black cat, they usually have, like look at them in the sun. Sometimes there's like red in there, blue, brown. If you look at like a white animal, like a white dog, lots of times there's undertones of like pink or even like purples and blues. So you have to like use those in painting, because a lot of people make the mistake, at least in my experience teaching people how to paint animals. A lot of people, I don't know when this turned into like me teaching you how to do this. I was just gonna talk, but yeah, a lot of people make the mistake of saying like, oh, it's a black cat, I have to paint it black. Like, you don't have to paint it stark black. Truthfully, I hardly ever use stark black. I usually use Payne's gray. I don't have any right now, so I'm actually mixing black with blue as I go to achieve that kind of Payne's gray color, because I don't love to paint with stark black. But yeah, so I think I'm just gonna keep building up the sections for where I need these different tones to be, and then once I have a better kind of like map of where I want things to go, I'm gonna go in with smaller brushes and start to put in actual like fine details and highlights and reflections off the fur. But I still have a lot to just color in, as you can see. But in the meantime, I guess while I'm working, I can tell you guys. So I think in the most recent video that will have gone up would have been like when you saw a bunch of like pet portraits that I've been doing. And I think I said in that video too that I kind of like took a little bit of time off from doing pet portraits because I had some other things to do. These are those other things. I don't know. I'm submitting some things to a show and I want to have options, because I actually wanted to submit some things that I had painted already that are in China, and I looked into getting everything shipped and everything's like packed up and ready to go, but because of, you know, COVID, I don't know if you guys heard. If not, you heard it here first. There's a pandemic right now. And yeah, a lot of the companies where I live in China are not shipping internationally. I might have better luck if I, you know, lived in a bigger city, but in Guiyang, like, they're not doing it. And like on top of that, they said that they could do it. They can't guarantee that it would make it through customs. And additionally, they said that it could take up to 6 months to get to me. And I was like, you know what? I don't think I want my stuff floating around in limbo for that long. So, you know, I'm like, well, I'll just wait. Like, I don't desperately need this stuff, but it would have been convenient for as I'm starting to try and submit things to shows if I had my work from the past 4 years, but I don't. So, but I'm trying to get a little more variety because, you know, if you guys followed me throughout my work in China, my whole like thesis was self-portraiture. So, you know, most of what I have is just like paintings of me. And, you know, then this over here happened because, you know, with like quarantine and stuff, I'm not gonna have other people model for me, or, you know, be asking, you know, to take photos of other people for reference or whatever. It's just easier, especially on a timeline like I am, to use myself as a model. And I think, you know, it's just the easiest thing to do. And that painting took me about 5 days, so I'm like doing okay on time, and I have probably about another 5 days to work on this one before I have my first deadline for submitting to a show. I mean, there's no guarantee that anything I do is going to get in or be shown or whatever, but if not, then I just have new stuff from my website, which is always really cool because, you know, I like to keep it updated and keep it, you know, varied. Now that I have some of that more accurately kind of blocked out, I think I'm gonna go in and start putting the hair kind of directionally where it needs to go. So that means, you know, rather than just like blocking things out, I'm gonna, like, the hair grows from here out and from here out, and I have to kind of think of that as I'm painting these strokes. So yeah, I think I might paint the nose, because once the nose and eyes are in place, it feels promising. It's like I always question my abilities until I get to a certain point, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I think I can do this. I feel like that never changes. Like, you could be like me, you could work forever on, you know, doing your craft, and I'm like, is there something wrong with me? Is it just me that I feel like I'm an imposter, like major, you know, imposter syndrome, where I'm like, I actually have no talent. I don't know what I'm doing. I've just fooled everyone, myself included, for all this time. You know what I mean? Sorry my shadow's on it, but here I am at the end of day 1. There's a couple hours put into it. I don't know how many. My butt hurts from sitting on the seat, but yeah, that's where I am right now. What happened? Did you think that was a kitten? Did you? I was gonna say good afternoon, but I guess it's evening. But it's the next day, and my son here was trying to make friends with the cat I painted yesterday because none of my other cats want to play with him, and I feel bad for him. He has no friends. Let me just set this up. But you know what? It's okay. Mama doesn't have any friends either. It's okay. It's okay. I love you, but you need to get down, please. I need to work. So, let me just show you where I got to yesterday. It's a little bit better lighting, I guess. So, there's still, you know, things I need to do. I need to work on some of the detailing in the fur. I need to add whiskers, but I can't do that until the rest of the, like, body is kind of filled in, because, you know, the whiskers would go over it, and I would just end up painting over them if I did them now. So I'm gonna work on the body today, I guess. It's pretty big, like comparison, you know, from my hand for comparison here. But I have to get a lot done today because I'm kind of running out of time. So let's do it. You might say, isn't that annoying painting with your shadow directly on what you're painting? Yes, it's extremely annoying. But again, we're working with what we got. I know at this angle you really can't see what I'm doing, but we're just here to hang out anyway. This isn't really a painting tutorial, right? I'm like off to a rough start. I mean, I was gonna say today. It's 6 o'clock in the evening. I'm off to a rough start with this painting session today. I'd like to get a fair amount done today. Because like I said, I think I said, I only have a couple more days. I'm doing great on time. Actually, no, I'm actually doing okay on time. I work relatively quickly, and this canvas is so warped. It's not even like, oh man. Yeah, my day otherwise has been fine. I ran some errands. I got coffee. So usually I will get an iced latte, decaf, because I have anxiety, with coconut, like a shot of coconut, less ice, and whole milk. That's usually what I order when I go to Dunkin' for coffee. Yeah, like I said, I think I said, I can't remember what I said in the video and what I said, you know, to myself out loud, because I need to encourage myself and make plans with myself to get things done, and compromise with myself. So yeah, I'm gonna work on the body today and plan out some of the background flowers and do some of that. I really want to finish the painting, like actual painting stuff, like ideally tomorrow if I could, and then just have one day to kind of set everything up. I have to go buy some like dowels and stuff. Probably have to go to like a hardware store to get the right size. This is my life. Welcome to the show. Now for this painting, I actually combined 2 stock photos because one had the face I wanted and one had the body that I wanted, or like the angle that I wanted for the body. So I am going to now open up the stock photo with the body and see. It's relatively simple. You know, I can definitely do this in a reasonable amount of time and move on to the flowers and the next stuff. So gonna do that. I love this. This is like the best thing in the world. My favorite. I love painting. No, actually, I do. Let's just have a little chat while I start to fill in some of these larger sections, because honestly my laptop's right here, and with the light where it is now, I can't see what I'm looking at anyway, so I'm just gonna fill in basic colors. Yeah, so anyway, did I ask you how your day was already? Let me know if anything exciting is happening or anything, you know, noteworthy. You know, like, so a lot of you guys know, especially if you found me through my OCD videos, you'll know that I have anxiety. Some of you got Daisy. Some of you guys may know that I haven't driven in 12 years. Like I haven't driven a vehicle. And I actually drove for the first time like week before last because, so there was a chain of events that led me to be like, I really have to be driving. One is just like guilt from the fact that if I want to go somewhere, I have to rely on somebody else. And then also I'm like going stir crazy. I haven't seen anybody besides my boyfriend and like the people that he hangs out with. I don't know. I was just like, you know what? I need to get out and I need to do something and I need to have that freedom. I can't do basic things. And like I've said it before, you know, like a lot of people are like, wow, you're so brave. Like, you know, I have anxiety and I never could have moved to the other side of the world, but like, you get in a car and drive to work every day, or you get in a car and do things. There's plenty of things, like you can't compare one person's success to another's because there's, you know, different things that affect us differently. And I don't know. But anyway, where I was going with this was, you know, so I'm like, you know, I don't have any friends left. I don't have anywhere to, you know, like, no one's gonna pick me up and take me anywhere anymore. So I was like, I gotta be able to do this myself. And it was fine. Like, I did it, and I hate it, but I did it. And yeah, it was okay. Another part of the catalyst was I got a job offer that seemed to like really suit my skills, and it's like an art job that incorporates, like, I have to use Chinese probably every day, which is like ideal. I mean, that's like if I want to keep it up and keep my skills sharp and like get better, I have to be in a setting where I'm using it all the time. And it seemed like it was a done deal. You know, I know the person that offered the job, and they were like, yeah, we're thinking of you for this position. Like, all you have to do is, you know, send your resume and, you know, whatever. That was a couple of weeks ago, and I never heard anything back, so I'm assuming I'm not going to. Honestly, my anxiety has gotten so bad that I was like teetering, you know, on the edge, thinking about like having to go to work every day and having this like job that I have to commit to and whatever. And like, I know that that's normal, and that's what people do, and like they get jobs and they do those things. My OCD, and also what seems to be what I'm speculating, and I've talked about this a little bit before, I've speculated has been kind of incorporated with like agoraphobia, is like kind of taking over my life. I find it really hard to be in stores, be in like situations where I'm trapped, and I use that like, you know, different ways. Trapped, like in a car, in a store, in a conversation with somebody, these kinds of things. You probably can't even see me, and if you do, it's just like this angle, so that's cute. But anyway, so it's just, you know, like situations that, like, I'm afraid that I'm afraid that I'm gonna have a panic attack, and I'm afraid that I'm gonna throw up. That has been like the main thing. That has like become like something that is on my mind constantly. Like every time I start to get anxious, I immediately feel like I'm going to throw up. And like the thought of having a job, like where I have to go in, or that I have to drive every day, or, you know, it's like making it hard. Granted, you know, I'm not really going out because of, again, you heard it here first, the pandemic. Like little things like eating at restaurants or just like hanging out, it's becoming impossible. Like, I don't know what to do about that. And ironically, even though I don't have any friends and I don't see anybody, honestly, I FaceTime my psychiatrist more than anybody. She's the only person, well, besides like my family, my boyfriend, whatever, that I've consistently seen over these past however many months since everything closed down. She's the only person that I talk to every week. You know, she offered to drive with me if I wanted. I'm not really making any headway with that, and I think part of it is just because I'm not necessarily talking about it with her. And for a while she's like, are you sure it's not like body image related? Because I guess as soon as you start talking about you're afraid you're gonna throw up or whatever, that would be something that she'd go to. And I'm like, no, like there's nothing wrong with like my appetite, there's nothing wrong. I don't love the way that I look, but I wouldn't say that it's like caused any kind of like disordered eating or anxiety with eating or whatever. But like, I can't fathom the anxiety and nausea I feel when it comes to like going to a restaurant or like eating in front of people and just like feeling like suddenly I'm going to throw up, and it's just like really a bummer. So, because what do you do? Like when you socialize with people, you eat. Like everyone's like, oh, like let's, you know, go get dinner, or let's, you know, do this thing, or let's go get ice cream, let's do this, whatever. And I'm like, oh man, I'm trying to pretend to be normal, but it's not working. And Anyway, I'm just gonna get to work now. I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna paint and get some progress on this because I need to. Oh, but I'm gonna watch some kind of like murder documentary in the background because that's been my thing recently. For years I couldn't do that because of my specific brand of OCD. I didn't want to. Oh, I just painted my hair. I didn't want to, but now I'm like back into it.
Live at 10. Developing story tonight, accused killer Brendan Dassey has a new attorney.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just had my psychiatrist appointment. We did, you know, FaceTime like usual, and I am ready to roll. I am ready to, one, finish this today, finish this painting, and two, finish part one of Making a Murderer, because I am many years behind. But as you know, I like couldn't bring myself to watch anything like that, you know, when my OCD was like really bad, and now it's like a form of exposure. So yesterday, I was painting, I think I was like working on one of the flowers and my camera died. So I did what I could, like you know, I showed you whatever amount you saw, and then I charged up my camera. So, yeah, so let me show you where we are right now. So here we are right now. So this is an under layer. I don't know if you can, maybe you can tell. So see, like in here, this is gold. So we're gonna have other flowers in front, and these are gonna fade to the back. And then the bottom half will be pretty much done, I think. So I'm gonna try and do something with gold leaf on here. I was originally gonna put like just gold leaf over the eyes too, but I think I actually really like them because I feel like the eyes are so important in like any kind of portraiture that I just want to leave them. And then I have the top up there to do, which is kind of something like out of my, not out of my element, but out of my usual wheelhouse. I'm gonna put a window. I'm not like I'm gonna paint a window there. Today is the 30th, and my goal is to be done with painting today and do some of the technical stuff tomorrow, and then I'm good for my deadline, assuming everything comes out okay, which it very well may not, because I'm doing something not experimental, but like, again, not in my wheelhouse as far as like structurally for this painting. But you know, it's, if not, it's a learning experience, and I already have one painting for the deadline, so I'm like fired up today a little bit because I was helping my mom with some Etsy stuff, and this guy that ordered something is like being very rude to her, and like, you know, it's clear that he didn't read the listing because he's saying that it's taking too long to ship and whatever. And my mom makes handmade stuff and she sells on Etsy, like handmade to order, and the guy was mad that it took 3 days to ship. And it's supposed to arrive tomorrow, which is you know, within a week of when he ordered it. And I'm like, bro, like I was answering, you know, I was like messaging him on my mom's account, and I was like I'm very petty about this kind of thing. I screenshot everything in the listing. I was like, I circled the parts. I'm like, right in the listing it says it's going to take this many days. I did it less than those many days. You know, it says, you know, it's made to order. You have to allow this many days. The shipping costs this much because it covers, you know, fees and, you know, packing materials. And also my mom paints on slate, which is rock. So it's heavy, and it costs, you know, that much to ship. But, you know, we don't, that's like one thing that, you know, doing any kind of like business with my mom owning a business and then me also sending things out, like as a customer, I hate when I pay $10 for shipping and see that it only costs $3 to ship it or whatever. I hate that. That is so annoying. So, you know, we don't look to make any extra money, like, you know, on any kind of shipping expenses, because that's the worst. Like, I hate that. I think that's like a really shitty like business thing. You know, if you're gonna just charge more for the item, like, you know, that way at least, I don't know, it feels like I'm not getting ripped off, you know? But yeah, so like if the shipping cost actually goes over, like my mom will refund some of the overage after like fees and packing materials and stuff is considered. So like she's very fair with it, and like a lot of times she ends up losing money on shipping, and I'm just like so aggravated with this guy that comes in here and he's like, first of all he said that she didn't send a tracking number. I'm like, no, and I circled it, and he's like, oh well, I just checked it and it says it's coming tomorrow. That's so late when I ordered them on the 24th. I'm like, bro, that's a week. Like, for a handmade item. I don't want to hear it. So I'm fired up and I'm waiting for him to answer so I can go in there. I'm like standing there like this, like ready for him to answer. Okay. Anyway, so I'm gonna get to painting because I need to calm down. So again, today is I'm gonna be working on more flowers. I think I'm gonna stick with the white foxglove. I like how that looks with this painting. A lot of times when I've done foxglove before, I've like mixed the different colors in. I don't think I'm gonna do that with this painting just because, I don't know. I feel like I'm not gonna have enough space for flowers that it's going to, like, I'm not gonna have enough space to vary the flowers a whole lot, you know, so I don't wanna just have like one pink one or like one blue one or, you know, whatever. I think I'm gonna stick to uniform colors. I can't wait to take this off the stretcher so that it's like flat again.
To February 20th, 2006. What plans, if any, did you investigators have relative to speaking with other members of the Avery family?
So here so far is where we are with this, and now I have to work on the top part where I have this little like window, and I don't love to do like straight lines and really like geometric stuff. It's just not my favorite thing, but yeah, I'm just gonna, you know, get in here. I used a ruler and kind of straightened up my lines. It's really difficult because this canvas is so skewed that even though the ruler is telling me that these lines are straight, they look really crooked. So I'm just gonna hope for the best and see how it goes. Maybe I should tape it. That's a lot of work. I'm not gonna do that.
Once police officers get a confession, the job of police officers and of prosecutors does not end there.
Okay, so here I am. I'm gonna add some stars, maybe a moon or something, I'm not sure. And I want to add some gold leaf, like flecks or something, kind of in these areas. I'm not sure, but most of the big stuff is done now. Okay, so it's the next day, and so far all I've done, I've taken the canvas off the stretcher, and now what I think I'm gonna do, I bought some dowels early this morning. I went out, got dowels, and I got embroidery floss. I'm going to embroider the edge, and then I'm gonna put dowels on the top and the bottom, so that's how it's gonna hang. Basically, I'm measuring in from this painted edge a little bit. I'm gonna run a line down here so that I know where I'm gonna put my holes for my embroidery. This is gonna make more sense once I start to do it, and you can actually see, you know, what I'm doing. A line down here and pre-poke holes for my embroidery needle to go to. So I've already poked a bunch of holes through. My camera battery died, so I'm just gonna film on my phone for a second. But I have my needle threaded up. This is the embroidery thread that I'm using. And I've already, you can see, kind of poked holes along here. I was gonna erase the line first, but you know what? It'll be fine to do after. So I'm just going to do like a plain blanket stitch through this. And we're gonna see how it goes. I don't know if you can tell, if you can see it there, but that stitch is what's gonna go along the whole edge. I'm a little ways in. It's taking a long time, but I think it'll be worth it. I'm gonna go in and erase these pencil lines after. I could have done it first, but I was afraid that I would, like, I don't know, somehow lose the holes where they are. At least I can stay on the line then. So yeah, just have to finish this whole side and then do the next one. Excuse me, it's not easy to do when you're trying to eat the thread. Been about 13 years. No, I'm just kidding. It didn't take that long once I got the hang of it, I guess. But yeah, these are what the edges look like currently. The bottom and top edge, I'm still waiting on my dowels. But oh, it looks so nice with a finished edge like that. Okay, I know this is like the worst background, but here is what it looks like all done. So here's the dowels and the embroidery. I have to go back in and like erase this better, but like I said, that's a problem for future me. And yeah, there's how it hangs. I actually just have it hanging up against another painting, that other one that I did, you know, the 3D one. So guys, with that done, now that everything's photographed, that's like the last step that I needed to do. Well, now I have to edit the photos and send them to see if everything, you know, if anything's gonna be submitted. But like I said, if not, it felt good to like do something big and like push myself and have something new like for my website and something, you know, maybe in the future if I want to exhibit or whatever. Yeah, I have it now, so I don't have to wait months and months and months for things from China to come. Yeah, so that's cool. So I am going to edit my photos and get all that stuff ready to go. Yeah, send them off and that'll be it. And then I'll hear probably in a couple weeks. And I don't know, I'll let you know. But I realized that this probably wasn't like, if you were looking for like, not a tutorial, but like, you know, hints and tips and stuff on painting, this probably wasn't your speed of video. But I hope it was fun, and I hope it kind of felt like, you know, just kind of hanging out with somebody, and especially if you're still social distancing and quarantining and stuff like I am. I'm kind of, you know, not really going out as much, and it feels good to just like talk and like feel like I am just like bouncing ideas off of somebody, even if it is just a camera. But yeah, on that note, I am going to get going. I can't believe oh my god, I finished what I needed to finish. These past 2 weeks working on those 2 big paintings from scratch was a lot, honestly. It's done now, and I think I'm gonna take a break tomorrow. And then I'm gonna order like a Chewy batch, take a couple days to do that. And then I have a commission that's been hanging on the line. And then I have an interest in another commission that I haven't even looked at the reference photos yet for, so I don't even know if it's something I'm gonna do. But I'm sure you guys will find out in a future video if I ended up doing that and how it went. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.